Deathspade.
Yeah, I was going to say that's very debatable
Sora
because
main,
Deathspade, well,
maybe,
yeah.
because like co-main is a gray area. If you want to say best Sora main, we can have a conversation. But I think Deathspade is the best Sora in North America. I mean, for goodness sake.
I believe there's like maybe a few like Soras out there, but I feel like Deathspade is the most like prominent one that I think of, and that just comes to mind here.
Not a lot of competition.
Yeah, and with Senam, I feel that I don't really see him travel out too much. So seeing him like a little bit here and there in the Midwest events, it is a nice showcasing, let alone of the state Minnesota that all travels like in a pack, which is nice to see that they all support each other, and it's a very well-loved community. So Senam, making it this far through top 64, I mean, yeah, that's great. Awesome. Good stuff.
I mean, like, I know Deathspade is seated. You know, he loves watching Soras and, like, analyzing stuff like that. So we're going to see. We're doing striking. We're not gentlemening the PS2. Yeah. Hallelujah. It's a new day. This is crazy. Wow. All right. Well, we're going to be launching into it as soon as they decide to stage. There are a lot of Senam fans in the chat, like you were saying earlier, supportive
It's a lot of Minnesota back at home. Even here too.
See.
Of course, yeah.
I honestly am glad I did not have the chat pulled up during Lucky versus Zen.
Oh man.
I bet that
would have been so heartbreaking. Yeah, I could only imagine.
I literally played like A friendly with Zen, and then it was like, oh, I have to go play Lucky. It was like, thanks for the game. If I win, it's because of you. So you know what? Hate directed towards my inbox. at restermicebusiness@gmail.com.
You're setting yourself up there.
Oh, trust me, I'm familiar with it. It don't matter
I
anymore.
know game.
I will take this blow for Zen, you know? Pause. But I will take the shame on this one. Here we go. They're launching. Oh, nope, they're still making control schemes. I was like, oh, they're launching into game one. No, they're not, actually.
Yeah, we're still making controls here.
As commentary goes on, and as you do multiple blocks, you start getting, like, things become funnier the more tired you get. It's a fact of life.
Yeah, it's just because you just get to a point where you just start becoming delirious, and you're like, I've lost a sense of time.
Yeah, I guess I
haven't eaten in 5 hours.
Loud equals funny. I can't believe, okay, they gave us these, like, fidget toys on the commentary booth.
Yeah.
And there's like, oh, this cool little bracelet with bubbles, and there's like a thumb thing, and this is like some weird gear thing. There's no fidget spinner. There was a fidget spinner on the main stream. We don't get a fidget spinner just because we're on the side stream.
That's exactly
how it works. What is this? This is an oligarchy, man.
It's exactly how it works.
The bourgeoisie over there with their freaking fidget spinner over on the main stream. I can't believe it. Yes, this is what we need to see.
Right.
Also, did you see Senam do like the like open mouth
The
shake?
flight reacts. Yeah, the flight reacts. Yeah, I saw it. I just didn't want to dress it.
That's where the weird in the sponsor comes from, bro. All right. Wow. All right. Wow. All right. All right.
Say that again?
Dude, it did it twice. Why did it do that? Usually it's a one and done deal, but it did it twice. That was crazy.
Oh, wow. Okay, so apparently Bugacheen is from Illinois, but I'm not familiar from like, I don't think I've, like, heard the tag.
Seated outside of the top 64. So, top 64. So, Bugacheen being here is an upset.
Yeah. I wonder if they're maybe from, like, NWIL or maybe, like, a different area of Illinois, because I know Illinois is very vast, and we have, like, Chicago, we have NWIL, we have Blono, which is, like, Bloomington Normal. There's just so many parts of Illinois that have their own little scene. It's hard to say, but I do like to see the Illinois rep here coming out with Wii Fit and Sora. Going to be a very interesting matchup.
Launching onto PS2, this is a good stage actually for both characters. You know, Wii Fit has a lot of space across the stage to camp and farm deep breathing, whereas, you know, Sora actually has a really low ceiling and small sides, so edge guards and juggles are even more effective than they would normally be. So I think this is actually a stage that both characters can benefit from. We almost saw Senam lose a very early stock in the first 20 seconds. Deep breathing is insane. You know, when you really look at it in a vacuum. Only at 41% here, Bugacheen takes the first stock. This would be yet another big upset in Bugacheen's run if they were to win against Senam here. But Senam going to try their best to not let that happen.
Yeah, we shall see, though. A lot of damage, and especially a stock to just make up for here on Senam's end. So we'll see if that Sora power will be able to come through. We're having a little bit of the loops come in, but they're not really, like, heavy hitting, but hopefully we'll be able to see those like finishing touch moves with like the up smash. Pretty much that will be it, the killing blow here. But Senam gonna go very deep there for a back air. Very nice.
I mean, Sora is the character perhaps most equipped to go off that deep.
Yeah.
Maybe not the best edge guarder in general in the game, but can definitely go off perhaps the deepest. Okay, deep breathing with the sun salutation. Going to avoid that just by staying on the ledge. Very smart to just have a little bit of patience. Especially Sora mains, they are known for their patience sometimes. Tried to get the jab into F smash. Didn't quite work out that time, though. I feel like a lot of higher level Wii Fit mains actually stay away from jab, but we're seeing Bugacheen try it this time. I wonder if that's sort of a player difference, you know, making the character your own. What sets you apart from the average player of your character? But we see Senam kind of coming in with some nairs, really wants to get a loop going to try and make up the deficit that Bugacheen had created in the first 20 seconds of the game. And they're doing a pretty good job of it so far.
Yeah, Senam is not too far behind here, and we do see the Thundaga on deck. So if he's able to find a really nice setup here, it could be, you know, better footy for him. But again, it's just Bugacheen has a lot that's set up here. We have the deep breathing out, and especially with the
the back hitbox of F tilt.
Oh, F tilt. Okay,
that's what that was. Because Wii Fit,
normally you see F tilt hit like this way, but
if Wii Fit is famous for one thing, it's deep breathing. If Wii Fit is famous for a second thing, it's weird hitboxes on moves where they shouldn't be there. The back hitbox of like forward air or F tilt or jab has a back hitbox somehow. It's really weird, and they almost always spike for some reason. It's just one of those things where it's like, why does this character... It's one of the more confusing design choices. At least with some design choices that turned out to be bad, you can at least see the rationale. That's a design choice where, like, maybe it's not the most broken thing, but I just don't understand what led to it, honestly.
Okay, yeah, a lot of good corner pressure coming out from Senam there. I really like to see that. A lot of usage of the spells and even the dash attack they're able to really show out there for Senam and being able to secure that second stock now.
Here he goes for the jab. Deep breathing still active. Gets that back air. Could find an early stock here at ledge. Well, not necessarily early, since Sora is one of the lighter characters in the game, about the same weight as Pichu, actually, which is quite surprising, like looking at Sora and his body type. But either way, a deep breathing F tilt, a deep breathing back air, and maybe even normal variations of those moves and a little bit more percent, those are going to start taking stocks here. Goes out the soccer ball. Again, back hitbox of like side B, sending it down into the right. Like weird angles on the side B. This may be the weirdest character since Duck Hunt. You know what I'm saying? Throws a counter out there. Good F tilt. Not going to kill just yet. Another one will, though, especially if it's at ledge.
Oh, okay. Both while dodging. Yeah, we're kind of in these close quarters here. Both getting a little desperate, a little antsy here. Dash attack barely poking through for Senam, and this is just, again, like a really tough uphill battle that he's going to have to face off. And the side B usage is just, it's just almost like a 50-50 trade-off. It's like either you end up in the hands of your enemy or you're able to safely recover, but it's just looking a little dire right now for Senam here.
There we go. I guess the down throw trying to set up, but the up air out of nowhere is going to take it. Senam dropping game one to Bugacheen's Wii Fit trainer here. Now, here's the thing about it. Bugacheen got some really early stocks that could be unfamiliarity on Senam's part with Wii Fit trainer. Again, very weird, very unusual character to see in brackets. Perhaps by familiarizing himself with the character, Senam can start actually, you know, like win the next 3 games in a row. This may have just been the warm-up, but it could also be that Bugacheen is the young, underseeded, hot competitor coming out of pools with a reverse 3-0, ready to take his first upset in top 64 over the very beloved Senam, who, by the way, is running the tag Mickey Soda, which is like such a deep lore thing of like, oh, Mickey Mouse and Minnesota and Minnesota, if you know, you know. But like that, like so many things came together to make that tag. It was kind of insane.
Yeah, and I would also say that I honestly don't think there is any Wii Fits, or as far as I know, in Minnesota as well. So it could be a little bit of like a matchup check maybe for Senam, a little bit of just like being able to kind of adapt like on the go really, and being able to make adjustments as he plays through the set here. So we'll see if it's really going to come to fruition here. As we do see, I mean, he's definitely doing a lot of more loops, a lot of more control here in the air and on stage, being able to go for those edge guards here. Just trying to put that corner pressure is really just going to matter a lot to Senam here.
now on home field advantage. This is a great stage for Sora with a massive platform that covers a lot of area and a relatively low ceiling for up air to take stocks early. What I liked from that sequence there was that Senam hit the back hitbox of a Nair into a back air for an edge guard sequence. And now the tables have turned. It is Senam who has the early lead here in this game too. Though we have seen Sora's counter, which, if you didn't know, activates immediately against projectiles. With normal hits, there's a kind of startup to the counter hit, but it activates immediately with a projectile, which, if you're fighting Wii Fit and she uses a soccer ball a little bit close to you, is a great option to punish her for something that would otherwise be pretty safe to do. Now we see Senam trying to recover, hitting Bugacheen with that side B in order to get back to stage safely. 68% doesn't quite hit the Sun Salutation. Off stage now. This is where Wii Fit kind of likes to be, but against such a, well-suited character for off-stage gameplay like Sora, it might not be where you want to be after all.
Yeah, and how Senam is just trailing around Bugacheen right now, tracing and looking for that last hitting move here, trying to go with the loops. And we just see a lot of more dash attacks about the Thundaga, not going to poke through just in time, as we see Bugacheen able to air dodge through it, and we see the deep breathing. But again, it's only really going to matter if Bugacheen is able to close out the stock, and the Sun Salutation will do it.
But at 139, a lot of what Sora can throw out is going to start taking stocks really early. It's just a question of finding it. That was a really interesting sequence that I kind of like because you're already at high percent anyway, so you might as well start taking those trades where you don't have a whole lot of risk, but you can start building up percent on Senam, and then you hit a big Sun Salutation out of it, and all of a sudden, it's an even game as we see Bugacheen with a phenomenal roll read F smash, taking Senam's second stock. We went into that second stock saying, Bugacheen's going to lose this stock before Senam, and Bugacheen proved all of us wrong with a phenomenal read on the ledge.
Yeah, but there we go, being able to find the up B that Senam needed here, sitting at 53%. Not too much percentage built, but again, you're going to have to work through it because, again, Sora doesn't really have a lot of strong hitting moves nonetheless that the hits have a lot of percentage dealt onto them. So we'll see how Senam approaches here. Got to play it safe, a little dash backing receive from both players here. Don't really want to make too many committal options here as we see projectiles kind of being flown out here, and even the spells here. We'll see how this plays out for the last stock here from both players. And it looks like Senam is trying to go for a deep edge guard, but not able to get it.
Wow. If Bugacheen didn't have their jump, that would have been too much to come back from. Thankfully, they have saved it for them. But Senam now on the ledge looking to try and find it, but deep breathing's out. These options are going to start taking stocks very fast, so you've got to play slippery like you haven't played before, Senam, if you're going to take this stock. Here we go. Goes out deep for another back air. Threw out 3 before, they decided, I should probably go back to ledge now, huh? There we go, throwing out more soccer balls. A lot of Sora's spells are actually quite good at getting rid of Wii Fit's projectiles, I've noticed, especially the soccer ball. Okay, the shield is extremely low, as Blizzaga tends to do, but Senam at such a high percent, it's just a question of, can you get in at this point? Because Bugacheen is really playing the zoner game at this point.
That spot dodge was so crucial there for Senam there, or else it would have spelled death, and the uppie will not close it out just yet. The DI there from Bugacheen. However, Senam is getting it back in blood with the back air to secure game 2 now. 1-1 on the board.
You can just go so deep with Sora, and honestly, even though Wii Fit is very comfortable stalling off stage, her recovery is not that good. It kind of is limited in the sense where you can only go up so high, and you can only strafe to one direction or the other so much. So honestly, it's actually very advantageous for you to go off and threaten Wii Fit like that, because at the very least, you're gonna hit a back air and win the game, and at the bad situation, you can make it back to stage, they might not be able to. So now that Sora has brought us to a 1-1 situation in this set here.
And the only thing that really Bugacheen had at their disposal there was soccer ball to just delay a little bit of the recovery read, but it still would have not meant a lot to defy Senam's tracing there, as we saw off stage and in the edge guarding situation there. And again, it's just really going to be the difference maker here, as we see now going into our game 3. PS2? I didn't even see the
maybe.
stage.
But honestly, anything that Bugacheen could have thrown out would have taken the stock.
Yeah.
You played slippery and evasive like you exactly needed to. Those are the moments where Sora plays less like a Sword Luigi and more like a floaty cloud, in the sense where you just was able to avoid and find your opening while, dodging a bullet hell from Wii Fit Trainer.
Yeah, and I really like the sequence that we saw there for Senam setting up. Although it's only 80%, I mean, again, it was such a beautiful sequence, a lot of follow-ups, and again, so clean and crisp coming from Senam here. However, we're seeing now like that response coming from Bugacheen here, being able to add on 66%. However, Senam is not done, finds the up air, and especially critical striking. They're not going to secure the stock, though, however, just yet. Nice. However, the F tilt will find it there, and now we're in the driver's seat here for Senam, only holding out on 82%.
But then again, game 2 started this exact way too, and Bugacheen brought it back with a phenomenal read at the ledge. We could see something similar, or Senam has already seen that trick and won't fall for it again. Though it is going to be the soccer ball to bring us back to even standing stock-wise, though perhaps not percent-wise, as Senam continues to build up percent. But the fair train with the deep breathing, gonna put a low on Senam, but able to break through that combo. Goes out for another edge guard. Gonna have to disengage though, as Bugacheen makes it back onto the stage and looks for another opening.
Oh, wow. 3 hits of the Naga there, not able to secure it just yet. And we see Senam really trying to go for these edge guards because that's just been the bread and butter for him, especially for majority of Sora players, given that they can go so deep, as you mentioned, for those edge guards. However, Bugacheen is like almost catching on to the trick here of like, okay, I can't get really too close to corner, let alone off stage. I need to recover as fast as possible pretty much and not have the Sora hit me once.
Here we go. Drifting array. 138 on Bugacheen right now. A lot of what Sora can throw out at the ledge here will kill, including that back air, and that does it. Senam at 64%. Some crazy deep breathing option could take the stock here, especially if you do it off stage, but for the most part, Senam should be able to hold onto the stock just a little bit longer and perhaps get some more mileage out of it. But that Sun Salutation, another deep breathing big option like I was just talking about, gonna bring us to exactly an even standing here in this game 3.
Yeah, and we're back to exactly how Game 3 started. These clean slates here, and we're seeing the loops from Senam poking out here. Here it is with the fair and the uppie, and it secures the stock for Senam, and all of Minnesota is popping up in the background. Wow.
It doesn't matter what you do with the rest of your life. From this point on, your children and your children's children and their children will forever speak of the day that you got clipped by Senam on Hollow Bastion. What a phenomenal moment there to find that game, and you didn't even really need to do that. Like, that wasn't a big comeback or anything, but like, why not?
He just, you know.
If you can win the game, win it with style.
That's the beautiful thing about Sora, is that when those loops really come in and you see a lot of it add up, and we've seen like some of those clips when, you know, Sora was freshly new, where a lot of people were just kind of like making combos, just kind of having fun with the character and whatnot, and being able to see like how great of a usage uppie is as well. We saw that coming out from Senam and how early, like at percentage-wise, that it took the stock. So it was just a great showcasing there from Senam.
All right, here we go. Launching back into Hollow Bastion. I am interested in Bugacheen's choice to not change up the stage at all, because I do think this stage is really good for Sora, and I think there are other stages that would be better for Wii Fit Trainer, like something longer like Town and City, or something like Small Battlefield, where there's a lot more space off stage to not get edge guarded. But Bugacheen is convinced that it is a player problem, not a character or a stage problem, so we run it back either way. This might have been your last chance to counterpick, though, if you're Bugacheen.
Yeah, we will see here. I mean, again, the setups from Senam, just a lot of grabs coming into play here. Thundog gets in the wrong way, unless you just kind of reset. I know some Sora players do that just to kind of like cycle through the spells faster just to get the one that they really want for a certain situation. The uppie not getting the last hit, not able to close it out. As we see two backers thrown out, the second one will do it there. And Senam now only holding on to 50%, 70%. These percentages are adding up, though, for Senam, so he can't call it too close here. Really got to play along here. And again, these loops are coming out to play.
Not going to fall for it that time, though. Able to air dodge at just the last moment. Though does miss the punish on Senam's, you know, up B there. So didn't get punished. And the up air to up B is going to take the stock again. And Senam has found himself in a considerable lead in this game 4, near insurmountable. But if there's anything that could surmount it, it is deep breathing. We're going to see how Bugacheen responds.
Yeah, we will see here. Bugacheen has a lot to come back from. The Sun Salutation's barely missing. No deep breathing. Again, this is exactly the opportunity Senam wants to find himself in, where, you know, Bugacheen doesn't have the setup, doesn't have exactly the prime setting for Wii Fit here. So being able to figure that out, and especially with the Blizzaga. Oh my gosh, I wonder if he was going to...
Don't get hit by it 3 times in one set.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was
Bugacheen.
like, was he going to go for another up there?
Here we go.
Like,
Going up
it,
throw.
yeah.
I don't know if I've ever seen Sora up throw, like just not used as like a kill or anything, just in neutral. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think Senam is fiending for another upbeat kill. All right. There you go. Side B's back onto the stage. Okay, looking for up smash.
Oh!
That's it. And with a 3-1, Senam beats Bugacheen and moves on through loser's side into top 48. Bugacheen, though, had a good run and will bow out in top 64. And ladies and gentlemen and viewers at home, that is going to be it for us today. Thank you so much for coming out to that. I think someone dropped that. That was not Rage. Thank you for coming out to Honeypot 7 over on the side stream, twitch.tv/TV_7, and the main stream, twitch.tv/UGS Gaming. I've been Rister Mice. You can find me especially over on my YouTube channel, Rister Mice, where I'm making a lot of Smash documentaries over there. Calavera, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter. I have changed my handle now, so it is RDZZ Calavera, so it'll be much more easier. I know a lot of people are giving me a little bit of a hard time with the numbers in my name and all of that. But yeah, I have been trying to make a little bit more content, just kind of go out and commentary more. And it's been nice to kind of connect with people here at Honeypot. I haven't been back in Iowa, let alone Honeypot, since I think it's been about like 2 years since the last rendition as well. So yeah, it's been a great showcasing so far, and I can't wait for more Smash tomorrow.
Well, with that, tune in tomorrow. I know both of us have commentary blocks at different points throughout the day, so we'll see you guys again. But for now, I hope you guys have a great night. Farewell, everyone.